Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the Technical Trader, Thursday night, January the 26th. These are the charts of the day. Well, I'm going to show you some shorts a little later on, but I want to go over some longs that looked intriguing to me today. A big 34% surge on strong volume for the stock. 1.7 million shares of real networks traded today. You can see the biggest volume in months, if not years. On a big contract with Intel, the stock gapped up and then ran another point, closed up 254, 34.5% on, as I said, 1.7 million. But it got right up to resistance and kind of backed away. So the high up here around 1020 and today's high at 1009, this 1010, 1020 zone is going to be resistance. If we can pop through there, wouldn't be shocked to see it run up into the 12 range. Low priced DNAR, which had that big spike, backed off for a couple days, and they got very quiet. Notice the little coil that developed here. And the pop, the very, very quiet low volume ebb here. Today it popped late in the day on 6.2 million shares, up 30% nearly, and or 29 cents. And this could very well do a test of the highs around 180. And if it gets through that, I wouldn't be shocked to see 2.25. Entremed. Well, very, very big move is taking place. But I want to also point out it's at a point of not only oversold from the standpoint of strong price thrust, but it's at the key level up here that I see. But with momentum, if this thing does run, $5 is still within possibility. So look for the stock to maybe go higher, but at the same time, with it having gone from 1 to 3 in a flash, you can see this stock pull back at any time, so be careful. ACAT, ACAT with big earnings today exploded. I like the chart pattern. This is a nice little base. It broke out and flagged for 2 months, popped out and then formed a wedge, and today exploded out of that. 20% gain, 477, 1.1 million. Now, if you look at the weekly chart on ACAT, you'll see that the stock is up, and away to the highest level in 20 years. So basically, this is new all-time high territory, and we can see an extension that takes us into the low 30s. PMTC parametric, also a clean price volume surge today, took out that line. Looking at the long-term chart, you'll see that the highest level we've reached since, well, a 10, 12-year chart, let's call it an 11-year high. So with this doing what it's doing now, may very well see at least a move on the weekly chart up to what I consider the next potential intermediate target around 35. Let's call short-term target 28, 29. GURE, that's the Gulf Resources, appears to have taken out this wedge when it went through that line and this line and then stalled here. Yesterday it popped. Today it extended sharply by moving up 16.7% of 42 cents on nearly 1 million shares, and the highest price in about 4 months. So let's look for a retest of this level at 328, my next target, and then secondary target up around 4.5, 3/4. HDSN Hudson also spiking, but the key breakout was here when it broke through this line, popped to secondary resistance, and then formed a nice little consolidation. Exploded out of that for 2 days, backed off, however, yesterday, held a gap in support, and today back up another 31 cents or 13.6%. And at this point, we're a little bit overbought, but with momentum, we may see 310 before we get a substantial pullback. Another stock that has strong momentum, that's broken out of a nice base pattern and exploded, then consolidated. Today popped 47 cents or 12% on 1 million shares. That's CLDX. One of the thing about the junior biotech stocks, they're all popping here. That's not necessarily a good thing. We see that often at the end of intermediate moves. URI also spiked up through key resistance today. It was up 310 or 9% on 7.4 million. Beautiful rising channel the last 6 months, and it continues. It's gone from 13 to 38.5, and it may have exhausted itself here. We'll see. PKT put out a swing trade on this today. I like the way it broke through the declining channel and took out lateral price resistance, but a little bit of surge in volume. Today's volume of 434,000 was the biggest volume since early December, so it's about 6 weeks. Now, looking back at the pattern, you'll see that a test of the highs around 18 may take place short term. I have a $20 target on it. Gene continuing its big move of yesterday. You can see that the long-term falling wedge was popped through yesterday with a big thrust. Today, even more volume traded. And stock advanced another 7.7% or 33 cents. Coming up to initial resistance here. We may get that as early as tomorrow up around 5.25 range. OI, nice base pattern. Nice breakout, a little flag for 4 days, and today it popped out of that. Now I have a line of resistance up here at this gap and these highs, but I think that may be tested near the 28 range, 27.5 being the short-term target. LCC, one of the strong airlines of late, although it did back off late in the session, you can see how it popped through one and then two levels of resistance, extended and then back to it. Let's see what it does up in here, whether it flags, consolidates, or extends. My next target, 10, 10.5. CALL, which we spotted after it popped through and then flagged, has moved steadily from 13 to 17.5 in the last couple of weeks, but we've reached key overhead resistance or getting near it around 18. And lastly, STMP stamps, after the breakout here, has continued to stair step higher. Today it reversed after holding support for several days around 29.95.30. Today it popped 31.33 up $1.19, 4%. I'm looking for a test of the highs around 33.75. Secondary target up at 39.40. And that's it for tonight. Don't forget to join me tomorrow at the San Diego La Jolla Marriott for a morning and afternoon talk on my short-term technical analysis techniques. It's free. Come join us. Bye-bye.